Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone. How are you today? Thank you for coming to our YouTube channel. And if you like this post, don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay guys, now I will share with you about the sociology of education. And our topic today is social class differences and inequalities. From the Sociology of Education, a systematic analysis by Jane H. Valentine. But before we begin, I will start by explaining the definition of the Sociology of Education. Do you know? Sociology of Education is a science that studies educational problems with a sociological approach, or sociology that is applied to solve fundamental educational problems. Sociology as a science already has a clear field of inquiry, viewpoints, methods, and structures of knowledge. The object of research is the behavior of human and group, its point of view to nature of society, culture, and the individual scientifically. Meanwhile, the structure of knowledge consists of concepts and principles regarding social group life, culture, and personal development. The sociology of education arises because of the problems of education that must be taken seriously. Sometimes, educational problems cannot only use an educational approach, but also need to use a sociological approach, so that the role of the sociology of education is very important because of effort to achieve universal educational goals. Okay guys, the all is opening before we begin our topic. Now we will discuss our topic as I have mentioned before. There is social class differences and inequalities. This topic highlights social class differences and inequalities in the educational system. It shows that the school system, rather than acts as meritocracy and science for social mobility, too often acts as a setting in which social class inequalities are represented. Here, we analyze the dynamic and process through which social class inequalities emerge in both educational achievement or test scores and attainment or level of education content. Guys, in this topic, we have 5 chapters. The first is social class and socialization and educational inequality, and second, systemic source of difference. Third, the continuing importance of peers and cultures, and then the fourth, the transition of higher education, and then the last is fitting the earth or changing the game. Is social class, socialization, and educational inequality. Socialization in the family of origin sets the foundation for educational inequalities. Research shows the social class differences in educational achievement. Example of vocabulary, color, and shape recognition exist before children enter the school system. This reflects differences in how parents from different social classes or income levels raise their children, specifically with differences emerging in how much parents talk to their children and read to them. Similar differences in cultural capital exist in terms of how parents interact with their children and the instructional styles and cultural knowledge they cultivate in their children. Because schools tend to reward children with the cultural capital associated with the middle classes, this different style of parenting often leads to class inequalities and education. Another second is systemic source of difference. After leaving home, children enter a school system characterized by significant class inequalities. These inequalities embedded in the structure and policies at the macro level, produce differences between schools in funding and resources. Although the amount of money spent on education in and of itself does not directly correlate with academic achievement, researchers know that money spent on quality of the teachers and small class size can produce learning gains, especially for less advantaged students. Yet class inequalities also exist within school, as shown in policies like academic ranking, where students from different social class backgrounds have different opportunities to learn. And then finally, the structure of the academic calendar, with its long summer break, also plays a role in perpetuating class differences in academic achievement. And then the third is the continuing importance of peer and culture. While the school system model educational opportunities at the macro level, students respond at the micro levels. The first, they develop a sense of who they are and where they fit with respect to their peers. For many working class students, school can be a science for pain and social exclusion. Second, students develop attitudes towards school and form peer cultures around education. These peer cultures then can lead students either to accede to the official mission of the school or reject it and offer an optional culture in its place. And the fourth is the transition to higher education where class inequalities exist throughout the educational system. It is those who lead to higher education that seems to have the greatest consequences. This is because those who complete college have significantly better economic outcomes compared to those who only complete a high school degree. Class inequalities exist in terms of who goes to college, where they go, and whether they graduate. These inequalities are produced in part by inequalities in educational equality leading up to college, along with the educational-related cultural capital that students use to consider and navigate the higher education landscape. Yet the game of higher education itself is structured in a way that privileges affluent players and emphasizes on its AT during admissions. Large-scale shift in pricing and financial aid policies. Along with admissions, policies at highly selective schools all play a role in perpetuating the class divides into educational attainment. And then the last chapter is beating the odds or changing the game. While individuals occasionally beat the odds, took a combination of luck and hard work to ensure a more equal playing field and to promote true social mobility took education. The game itself needs to be changed. Changes at the micro level to school funding policies and early childhood programs have been shown to enhance the academic achievement in children from less advantaged backgrounds. Questions remain about the ability of charter schools and future programs to increase the academic abilities of lower income and minority students. Finally, at the college level, thanks to the use of IT in college admission and the development of programs that would increase the cultural capital and college knowledge of less advantaged students, would help close the social class gap in educational attainment. Okay guys, that's all of my explanation. Thank you for watching my video. See you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.